So far in this session of today, the 23rd of April 2024, the major indexes have remained upright after yesterday's firm gain broke a 6-session losing streak, but the footing isn't that solid. A mixed batch of earnings results and elevated treasury yields could pose headwinds, while Tesla looms after the close. Companies rising in this early in this session. As today, the 23rd of April, on solid earnings included General Motors, Kimberly-Clark, Lockheed Martin, and United Parcel. Shares of JetBlue and Philip Morris lost ground as investors poured over their reports, but in general, the morning's scorecard looked mostly green. Over in fixed income, the benchmark 10-year Treasury note remained near 5-month highs, well above 4.6%. Let's have a look at the 10-year notes. That's it here. This is its 1-minute chart. Okay, so crude oil and the dollar backed off as tensions between Israel and Iran eased. Wall Street enjoyed a sunny technical weather yesterday the 2nd of April 2024, thanks to the S&P 500 closing above a key support level near 4,190. That marked a 23.6% retracement of the October through March rally. This could bring spillover buying today, especially if cheap stocks stay hot, and that has definitely happened. We can see that this is the S&P 500. It's currently at 5,068 at the moment. Okay. Still, it might be tough to gain much traction later on in this session. Investors likely want a better picture of earnings from for the magnificent 7 about to report. Tesla gets things started this afternoon. Let's quickly have a look. Let's see what's going on with Tesla. Okay, comment. Let's see. Tesla is showing some strength at the moment, up around let's see, up 2.64%. Okay, and has broken above all of its most upper projection on this on its 1-minute chart. Okay, so Microsoft, or rather Meta will report tomorrow. Let's have a look and see what's going on with Meta. Meta is also showing some trying to rebound, reach the highs of around 498 at some point in this session, and just slightly below its most upper projection on this daily chart. So, and getting support from its its 10-minute moving average was a primary demand line a few minutes ago. And then tomorrow is Microsoft, and then Thursday is Google. So let's quickly have a look at Microsoft MSFT. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, MSFT. It's yes, okay, trying to also retest this high of this session. So that's what we're looking at right now. Some of these stocks, including Tesla as well, they're all trying to rebound. Yeah, and also not far off from its most. No, this is not the most upper projection. The most upper projection for Microsoft is here. Let's get a price. We don't have it. It's the price is $408.45. So the next one is Google. Let's see. Google is going to report on Thursday. Just as they all pretty much Google is has a decent angle of attack, you know, and this is the high of the session, I want to believe, 158.79. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Let's see what we have here. They said recent dramatic losses reflect weakness in stocks like Nvidia. Okay, let's quickly have a look at Nvidia. NVDA. Okay, it's rebounding again around 3.5%, I want to believe. Yeah, 3.48%. Yeah. So recent dramatic losses reflect weakness in stocks like Nvidia. and Tesla with their dominating market capitalizations. Most of S&P 500 stocks actually rose last week. Okay. Also last week's relatively strong performance by the Dow Jones mainly reflected in mainly reflected strength in its largest component by price, which is United Health Group. This shows the importance of diving deeper to get a sense of the broader market's performance. The S&P 500 hasn't gained 2 sessions in a row yet this month. So futures based on the SPX were up 0.1% earlier on, shortly before the close of overnight trading, and futures based on the Nasdaq NDX rose 0.1 as well, 0.1% as well. Okay, so moving on. Tech earnings kickoff, as you probably know very well, as Tesla plugs in, though the stock isn't formally a tech name because it lives in the S&P 500 consumer discretionary sector. Analysts anticipate earnings per share of $0.48, down from $0.85 reported a year earlier. Okay, let's get to Tesla and see what's going on with it while we talk about it. Yeah, so as analysts anticipate earnings per share of $0.48, down from $0.85 reported a year earlier, on estimated revenue of $20.94 billion, down 11.4% from a year ago, according to Yahoo Finance. Questions for Tesla this time around could include the impact of layoffs for Tesla's margins and sales, what chance there might be for sales recovery, progress on a lower price car, recent price cuts, the Cybertruck recall, and the competition in China. With so much bad news baked in, any surprise positive tidings could potentially support shares. Okay, the tech ball really gets rolling with Meta Platforms, Microsoft, and Alphabet later on this week. Analysts have lofty expectations for earnings per share and revenue growth expectations, with AI likely driving gains to some extent, but cost cutting another factor. Multiples for most of the mega caps galloped higher in the first quarter. The usual metrics like cloud growth and internet ad sales loom large, but another question is how quickly customers adopted AI offerings from both Microsoft and Alphabet. Semiconductors are on the calendar too, with Intel and Texas Instruments reporting as well. Okay, let's quickly have a look at those stocks. Let's look at INTC. INTC, what's going on with it right now? INTC moving sideways so far, just consolidating maybe the gains, the highs of this range, I want to believe. Okay, and then let's look at Texas Instruments, TXN. Okay. So yes, has a decent upward push. The highs of this session, I want to believe, is around $166.48, and it seems also its 10 and 20-minute moving averages have been a source of have been a supply line, or demand line rather, of late. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Moving on. Okay, so semiconductors are on the calendar as well, with Intel and Texas Instruments reporting as well later on this week. Texas Instruments is this afternoon, followed by Intel, and on Thursday, AMD, the main AI competitor for Nvidia, is also expected to report next week after the chip stocks took it on the chin in Friday's steep sell-off. Okay, let's have a look at AMD. Let's see what's going on with AMD right now. Yeah, so pretty much the trend is an upward one. It's just coming off the highs of the session, $153.46, and broken through a lot of supports we have here. And then the next support would this will be its 20 minute moving average, and that also converged. That's at where it's lying right now. There's also we have a convergence there with a Fibonacci projection or a Fibonacci support to $152.87. What are the odds that if it gets there that we're going to see a pivot? But as things stand right now, we should see a reversal because it's currently trading at a discount to its 10 period moving average. That's no guarantee at all, but interestingly enough, yes, that's what's going on. Okay, so AMD is reporting next week. Okay. Chip stocks still trade well below last month's highs, blown back by investor disappointment over cautious guidance from chief fabricator Taiwan Semiconductor last week. With so many earning reports ahead, now is a good time to check. To see what's going on. Have a look at the calendars and see what you're going to make of what's going on. So let's see now. Stocks on the move. We have GM. Let's quickly have a look at GM. Okay, GM climbed 4.5% in the pre-market session, trading after the automaker beat Wall Street's earnings estimate and raised its to 2024 guidance. Both earnings per share and revenue easily exceeded analyst expectations, despite rising costs associated with a new labor contract. In its press release, GM emphasized the company's all-electric future and its Ultium battery platform. Improving battery module availability is enabling higher vehicle production, which they believe will help them win even more customers in the growing US EV market, according to CEO Mary Barra in her quarterly letter to shareholders. According to her, they have standout EVs today and more coming. And then let's look at this is its 1 minute chart. Let's look at its 1 day chart and see what's going on. Let's see what this is. Its daily chart. So GM has been showing a lot of strength. It's in the medium term. It's in a strong bullish trend. In medium term, it's in a strong bullish trend, and has just continued to see resistance at $45.43, which is right around where it is trading at right now. So if it breaks through that support, that resistance, there's a good chance it can always get to $46, even higher as well. Even higher, 47.8 is very much possible. So moving on to UPS. Let's see, UPS. Okay, shares of UPS rose more than 1% ahead of the open, despite quarterly revenue slightly missing Wall Street expectations. Earnings per share beat the average analyst estimate. However, as the company worked on cutting costs, even as it wrestles with higher labor expenses following a new contract signed with the Teamsters Union last year. Average daily volume, which had been another challenge, showed signs of improvement during the quarter, as the company indicated today. Okay, so this is it's a chart, not doing very well, not exactly very fantastic, and it's just slightly above a support of $147.73, and then above that we have $150.64. Yeah, not so wonderful, not a very wonderful chart. So let's move on to JetBlue. We covered JetBlue a few minutes ago. JBLU, JetBlue. Yeah, that's it, JetBlue. Yeah. So the stock declined more than 10% at some point in this market, in the pre-market session of today, the 23rd of April 2024, following its earnings release, despite the narrower than expected Q1 loss. The company's disappointing outlook for the second quarter delivered a dagger this morning, with the second quarter revenue expected to fall 6.5% to 10.5% year over year, compared with the average 3.7% drop expected by analysts, according to FactSet data. The company's full year guidance is also below Wall Street's estimate, and it's struggling with with what it calls a significant elevated capacity in their Latin American in their Latin America region, which represents a large portion of JetBlue's network, according to the company's release. Yeah, so that's a roundup of what's going on so far in this session. Okay, the S&P is currently still trading at 5,068 or thereabout. This is definitely better than what it was yesterday. Yeah, so just have a look, and I'll definitely continue to update you. Thank you very much for watching this video.